I do my makeup for work. Very demure, very mindful. I don't come to work with a green cut crease. I don't look like a clown when I go to work. I don't do too much. I'm very mindful while I'm at work. See how I look very presentable? The way I came to the interview is the way I go to the job. A lot of you girls go to the interview looking like Marge Simpson and go to the job looking like Patty and Selma. Not demure. I'm very modest. I'm very mindful. You see my shirt? Only a little chichi out, not my chocho. Be mindful of why they hired you. Here's your reality check, diva. What's the name you'd like me to make it out to? You see how I get off of work? Very demure, very cutesy. Makeup, still intact. Hair, still very nice. Outfit, no stains. Very demure, very mindful. You see how I do my hair? A very modest length. I don't do too long. I like to keep, very mid-length, very reasonable, very respectable. I don't do too long. I don't, that's not my business. I keep my hair very demure, very short. You see how
What did you say?
Do you see how I'm pumping in gas so my wife doesn't have to tomorrow? Very thoughtful, very mindful, very demure. Do you see how I'm holding the gas nozzle so my wife doesn't have to get her hands dirty? Very considerate, very clean, very demure. I'm not like these other husbands. Do you see how I'm opening the door for my wife? Very respectful, very cutesy, very demure.
See how I don't throw the toaster in the bathtub? Very demure, very mindful. See how I lock myself in solitary confinement instead and pretend my feelings aren't real? Very demure, very mindful.
See how I listen to sad music to forget I even exist?
I'm very demurtsy, I'm very cutesy, I'm very demure. But I mix them both because I'm what? Very demurtsy. I'm very demure.
Do you see how I did Chloe's makeup? Very 90s, very sultry, very thoughtful, very demure.
Do you see how I'm sitting here? Very ladylike, very mindful, very demure.
Have you seen the band? Very chic, very elegant, very demure. What does mean demure?
Nobody knows.
Demure is out. What's next? One word popularized by creator Jules LeBron monopolized TikTok over the past 2 weeks, but it fell off almost as fast as it blew.
How to dress to attract a man.
I haven't been to the Philippines, but I grew up with a lot of Filipinos.
Really?
See how I let my wife sleep in the morning? Very demure, very mindful. I'm not like these other husbands. I don't clank around in the morning trying to wake her up, making noise. I don't do too much. I'm very cutesy with it. Now I'm going to go make her some coffee. Very considerate. Be mindful why she married you. See how I let...
See how I do this when I drink from the bottle? Very demure.
We have all the flavors.
Very mindful. I don't just chug it. I just don't, just like all the way down, just little by little. Very elegant, swelling it, demure.
You see my wife? She's not like these other wives. She's very demure, very mindful, very cutesy.
Thank you. Very respectful.
Thank you. These other girls are very wild and crazy, very boom boom boom, kiki ka ka ka, not very cognizant. Not my wife, she doesn't do too much. She keeps it elegant, she keeps it classy, very modest high cut shirt, only a little chichio, not her chocho.
Oh my god.
My wife is very presentable. She doesn't act like some of these girls like clowns, like Marge Simpson or Patty and Selma. Not too much makeup, no wing liner or lashes.
Thank you.
See how I come to work? Very demure. I don't wear too much makeup. I don't come showing up with wing liner and lashes. I do a little hair oil on the wig. I do a little tinted moisturizer. I do a little brow gel. Very considerate, very approachable, very demure. Let's be mindful while we're at work, ladies. This is not a fashion show.
I said, look at how I'm cutting these slices, these potatoes for my wife. Very demure, very cutesy. I'm mindful of small cuts. I am not like these other husbands when I cook for my wife. I'm very considerate with my slices, very considerate with my cooking for my wife. Very demure.
Very demure, very cutesy.
These potatoes specifically chosen, very demure for my wife. Very considerate as a husband.
You're very mindful.
I'm mindful of what she wants and what she needs.
See how I come to work? Very demure. See how I get off of work? Very demure. Cutesy, very mindful. Very cutesy, very demure.
See how I pull my cart to the side when I want to look at something? Very demure, very cutesy, very mindful of me. See how I fold the clothes and put them back? Very demure, very mindful, very thoughtful. Ooh.
You see how I eat this egg? Very mindful. Very cutesy. Very demure. We like an even crack. We like a jammy yolk. Do you see how I eat?
You see how I go to work at the strip club? Very demure, very mindful. I don't bring my Monster into the club. I drink it in the car. I'm very mindful. I don't wear my cute little outfit outside of the club. I wear a sweatsuit and I sit in my car. I do a little lash, a little lip stain. Very demure. Very mindful. You see how